Hi, I am Andy Garcia. I am a student at Texas State University studying computer science and leadership development. Today, I will be sharing with you what I have learned about 360-degree feedback. What is 360-degree feedback? 360-degree feedback is an organization development and performance management method. It is a survey given to the employee and several of their direct contact coworkers for the purpose of gathering feedback from multiple sources about your performance. First tested by the U.S. military during World War I, this multi-source model excluded feedback from direct reports. Initial results showed little improvement, deemed unsuccessful, and abandoned. Years later, the German military readopted the method during World War II, but with the addition of subordinate feedback. It was very successful, so for obvious reasons, the use of the 360-degree feedback method becomes unpopular after the war. 2 decades later, Esso Research and Engineering are the first documented civilian company to repeatedly use the 360-degree feedback method successfully. Esso Research becomes so lucrative that it draws the attention of big business and is eventually bought out by a conglomeration. The 360-degree feedback method fades back into the corporate background for almost another 2 decades. But as technology and organization development blossomed in the 1980s, companies began to take a closer look at the 360-degree feedback method again. Times were changing and companies needed to stay competitive. This led General Electric CEO Jack Welch to adopt the 360-degree feedback model and achieve extraordinary results. GE, under his leadership, prospered year over year. This success prompted industry to take notice. Many companies started to consider 360-degree feedback as an organizational development and performance improvement tool. This trend continues today. The employee and a group of 5 to 10 other reviewers will complete the same questionnaire concerning that employee's performance. The 360-degree feedback questionnaire is a series of scored questions and comment boxes. The questions can be general or specific, positive or negative. The questions will address topics like quality, dependability, and job knowledge. 360-degree feedback works by collecting the opinions of a number of people to uncover common perceptions about an employee's performance. On the other hand, when evaluating an employee, reviewers should have at least minimal professional contact with the employee and base responses on observable behaviors only. It must be emphasized that the test should be administered fairly and in a sensitive manner. Encourage reviewers to respond in an objective and positive way. There should be adequate planning and follow-up support afterwards. Here are 2 examples of 360-degree feedback surveys. The results come in 2 parts. First, the employee receives values that correspond to the ranking and rating section of the 360-degree feedback survey. This is the part of the survey that asks if the employee is outstanding, above average, average, struggling, or failing to perform in different aspects of the job. The second part of the results is the composite of all the comments. Comments will state things like hard worker, good attitude, or maybe needs to work on punctuality. After a while, patterns form. These are the employee's strengths and weaknesses. The positive comments are reinforcing and the negative comments become opportunities to improve. Here are examples of results from a 360-degree feedback survey. When involved in a large corporation, for instance, management does not always know how the employees perform. This makes it very difficult for the manager to fairly evaluate his subordinates. 360-degree feedback surveys remedy this problem by relying on feedback from many sources. The employee, along with everyone else in the organization, is evaluated as well. The employee becomes a reviewer in many other employees' 360-degree feedback surveys. This makes the co-workers accountable to one another. Yearly performance reviews become fair and more efficient. Annual appraisals are less taxing on management, so they tend to favor it. If management likes a 360-degree feedback survey, then it becomes logically safe to say that it is widely used as well. The amount of interaction can have a direct impact on how a receiver evaluates an employee. If the reviewer seldom interacts with the employee or has no idea of the daily duties of that particular job, a subjective evaluation is not really possible. Another disadvantage of the 360-degree feedback survey is that the receiver may be hesitant to provide honest feedback about a superior for fear of being exposed, or maybe the relationship is non-favorable and the tendency to incite negativity is strong. Since the 360-degree feedback survey involves everyone in the organization, at times you may have a subordinate evaluating a superior. Many times a subordinate has no idea what the superior's duties entail. Sometimes it is the manager that doesn't understand the subordinate's daily responsibilities. Training is provided, but superiors often attend an executive breakout group where subordinates might receive the training online. Then there are instances where members lack the capacity to properly populate the 360-degree feedback surveys and provide less than stellar input. Finally, in situations where conflicting opinions arise in the 360-degree feedback process, there is currently no way to determine which one is accurate. When carefully planned, respectfully executed, and efficiently followed up, the 360-degree feedback survey produces measurable results. The 360-degree feedback survey is most effective when combined with other organizational development methods such as Six Sigma. And like most organizational development methods, it is always best to practice the utmost professionalism when evaluating others. Be subjective, honest, and positive about improvement. Each employee is more than a ranking and a rating. Please feel free to review my references. Thank you for your time.